Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to Force In Unison Live! Episode 30, the big 30. We're adults, finally! Tonight, we're gonna talk about E3 and our predictions, baby, for both Sony and Microsoft. And we may drop a little bit of news there, here and there, of course. And of course, like always, joining me, the man, the legend, Ben, please take it away, Calione! Yeah! How you doing, Calione?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And yeah, I mean, yesterday we had the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast E3 edition where we gave our 5 predictions, each one of what we think is going to be happening on Nintendo's conference. But today we're going to open it up. It's going to be including Sony, including Microsoft, and what we believe each one of them is going to do, and ultimately who we believe is going to win E3. So aside from those, we got a couple of news, certain news about game sales and things like that. But Dantes, go ahead and take it away.
Well, I want to thank everybody for joining tonight here at Force In Unison. Yeah, Dick, you're the only one right now, but it will fill. Don't worry, it's all good. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight on Force In Unison Live, episode 30, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make all of us happy in this beautiful, beautiful channel. Also, we do have a Nintendo podcast called the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast. Every Saturday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can get that podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. Rate us over there so you can show up some love. Also, remember, we do have a Facebook page called Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to chiguerosnews.com and give some clicks and love to my boy Calione. With all that said, are you ready? Are we ready to rock and roll, baby, with the E3 predictions, Calione? And I'll explain a little bit the rules of the scenario. Calione, what we'll do 5 predictions each. We'll start with Sony, and then we'll go with Microsoft. We'll leave the best for last. But we'll start with Sony. I got my Sony shirt on tonight, so we're ready to rock and roll. I'll give 5 predictions. Calione will give 5 predictions. What up, Collins? Welcome back. Happy to see you again. He'll say 5 predictions. I'll say 5 predictions. Then, of course, after this, we'll do a summary of E3 special, and we'll unite all of the predictions. Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, and we'll see who won E3. Of course, last year, I was the one who won E3. But, like Calione stated, we did Nintendo just today. So today, it's all about Microsoft and Sony. And, of course, because I won again last year, I'll go first with PlayStation. And, Calione, are you ready? Are you ready for the thunder? Okay, here we go. Let's drop the hammer out. I got my predictions right here. Woo! Let's see which one I'm going to pick. And my first prediction is going to be that Devil May Cry 5 will be revealed at this E3 during Sony's press conference. And it's going to be Devil May Cry 5, a continuation of the original Devil May Cry and not the weird game that Ninja Theory, even though they're a good developer, Ninja Theory did a couple of years ago. Continuation, baby. Devil May Cry 5, Calione. Do you feel it in your bones? Anyway, anything to say about that prediction?
Well, no, like I mean, we've been hearing rumors, but it hasn't been as loud as we believed, before, or heard before from other games. So, the big question will be: is it gonna be Big Dantes or is it gonna be Little Dantes? Like, which Dantes is the one that we're gonna see on Devil May Cry 5?
Big Daddy.
The big one, the white-haired
Yes.
Dantes?
Yes, correct. Dante.
Okay,
Dante.
so...
No, Dantes. Dante.
Dante. I mean, I'm thinking about, Count of Monte Cristo. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dante will be back. White hair, red coat, giving you 2,000 puns. He will be back.
And what type of music is he going to be playing? Is he going to be playing, like, early 80s Metallica or, like, late 90s, early 2000 Metallica?
Early 80s Metallica, I guess you could put it that way. Okay, this podcast is going weird tonight. Anyway, Calion, let's go with the first prediction.
Well, I want to say because somebody may have seen me drinking earlier. I'm actually drinking malt. It's not. It's a non-alcoholic beverage. It's not beer or anything. So I'm not. I don't condone drinking beer. Like on a live stream. I mean, off of it, that's entirely your.
I've never done it in a live stream, in my defense. But anyway.
I don't know, like, well, maybe we should try it one time, see how many views we get.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Yeah, let's try to waste it.
Okay, so my first prediction for E3 is going to be that we are going to see Death Stranding video, and we're still not going to see another gameplay from Death Stranding. So we're going to see another video, another trailer, and we are still going to be waiting for like this 50th year in a row for some gameplay from the game. That's my first prediction.
Okay. That's what you want. Collins asks, is it going to be like gameplay or something? I think the new Devil May Cry is going to be gameplay. And Death Stranding, Calionis is saying that there's not going to be gameplay, which is a little bit different from my prediction. But let's see what is next. About Death Stranding, I mean, it can happen. I mean, it's Hideo Kojima. But then my prediction, I'm going to put it and say that, no, I'm going to leave that later. Maybe I'll leave it in my back pocket. My next prediction is that From Software will reveal a new IP on PlayStation. Like I said, PlayStation said that their first-party exclusives are 4 games, but that did not mean that Sony has good relationship with studios for second-party exclusives, and From Software is one of them, of course, with the famous Bloodborne. You could see something new IP or Bloodborne 2. One or the other. From Software will be center at Sony's E3. Caliones, what do you think about that prediction?
Well, I don't know. I think it's about time, for us to see one. I would be more surprised if it's a new IP instead of, Bloodborne 2. I mean, Bloodborne, it already carries the name. It's a game that scored over 90 plus, known as one of the best games, on the PS4. So I would be surprised if it's a brand new IP. I think they're probably going to play it a little bit safe and go with Bloodborne 2. That's my take on it.
Don't act dumb. Welcome to the chat. Dick, of course, always supporting. Collins, I don't go to Discord much, but I'll let Caliones answer that question if he wants to stop by on Discord later on. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Caliones, next prediction.
Well, my next prediction, this is strictly Sony. We're going to do Microsoft later on,
correct, right? Correct. This is strictly Sony. 5 predictions from Sony. I have already delivered 2. You need to deliver the next number 2.
Okay. Well, next prediction is going to be that we're not going to hear anything about a PS5. We're not going to hear anything about a PS Vita 2 or the next handheld or anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That's a prediction? Really?
It is a prediction because some people are saying that they may be showing something. I'm saying that they will not show anything except 4 games.
You and your crappy prediction. That's a bad prediction. But anyway, if you want to keep it, that's an easy point because they're not going to show anything. They already said that they're not going to show anything. So you're kind of anyway. I'll leave you that one. I'm not going to fight it today. Okay. And to answer Scalione's prediction, yes, they're not going to show anything on hardware. They already stated it, but since Scalione likes easy points. Okay, anyway, my third prediction, real PlayStation fans know stuff like this, is that there's going to be a new Sony remake from an old IP like they did with Shadows of the Colossus in this E3. And, of course, it's going to be done by the masterminds of Blue Point. Blue Point deliver with another 90-plus Metacritic score with Shadows of the Colossus remake. And they're, of course, helming the next big remake IP for Sony in this E3. Caliones, anything to say about that?
Well, I mean, not really, except for, I look forward to whatever they do. Blue Point, they've been doing great. So, any IP that they go to and that they, try to remake, I expect them to make a quality game out of it and something that's going to score high for them.
Okay. We shall see, Caliones. What is your next prediction?
my next prediction is going to be that this is coming from Microsoft. I mean from Sony. So we're gonna see two different PlayStation models announced, as in we're gonna see the Spider-Man PS4 and the Death Stranding PS4 systems.
Okay, so okay. That's fine, Carlos. Whatever you say. they
I mean,
they're gonna announce the PlayStation Spider-Man, but the Death Stranding one is not gonna happen since that game's out like in maybe 2025. But anyway, that's fine. You want that prediction? Weird prediction, but okay. That's what happens with lack of knowledge on Sony, I guess. Anyway, let's go to my fourth prediction, baby. I'm gonna predict, Caliones, that Sony will reveal more new IPs for the PlayStation VR, and there's gonna be a big push for PlayStation VR in this conference. So you're gonna see a good 10 minutes, I would say, of PlayStation VR. They stated on their last investors discussion that PlayStation VR has not expanded as they expected. So it seems that sounds like it's slowed down, and they want to push it. So I believe that's going to come back in this E3. So they're going to be revealing some new IPs for PlayStation VR, and they're going to push PlayStation VR, Caliones. Anything to say about that?
I don't know. Like, I believe that if they were going to be pushing VR, they probably should have been doing it in the holiday season, doing it now, and up until not really wait until E3. They've in a way mishandled VR, and it seems like it's going the Vita way, where they just stopped pushing it, they just stopped advertising it or doing anything for it. So for them to, I hope that they do something at E3, because they haven't really been doing anything, and I just don't want them to just let it disappear. So I hope so. I just hope they do.
Okay, we shall see. Caliones, your number 4 prediction.
Number 4 prediction for me is going to be that I'll say probably that The Last of Us we're finally going to know exactly when The Last of Us is going to be coming out.
So you're saying that they're going to say the release day of The Last of Us. That's your prediction?
Yes. They are finally going to tell us when it will be coming out.
Okay. That's fine. That could be. I had it as on my backup predictions if you stole one of mine. I have it here, so we shall see. My final prediction, because then since you didn't took it and I wasn't leaving it in the back, but I'm going to say that in difference to your prediction, the Death Stranding will be shown in gameplay, and it will be an open world game that includes some kind of multiplayer, Caliones. That is my prediction. Death Stranding, open world game, but with some kind of multiplayer, not a single player type of games that Hideo Kojima is known for. So, that's my last prediction. Caliones, what do you think about that one?
Okay, I would say that if they announce that Death Stranding will be receiving multiplayer, then we're definitely going to be playing it here on our channel, because that's a game that is so weird. I have no idea what the game's about yet, and still I really want to get my hands on it and play it, because of the unknown of Kojima, of Norman Reedus, of Mads Mikkelsen, Guillermo del Toro, like that collection of people. It seems like it's going to be a high quality title for the system.
Okay, Caliones, before you give your last prediction, JJ Monster asked prediction for the next Blackfest, and I'm gonna let it to you. You're the Splatoon master, so who do you think is gonna win?
Well, I think it's like one of those. Usually, the one that wins the popularity is not necessarily the one that ends up winning the Splatfest. So I believe Octolings will win the popularity, but Inklings will be the ones winning the Splatfest itself.
There you go. You have it right here. Okay, Caliones.
But the question will be, hey, JJ Monster and anybody else, what side are you going to be choosing? Would you choose Inkling or would you choose Octolings?
I'll show Octolings. I don't know. I'm not going to choose anyone, but. All right, Caliones, with your last prediction for PlayStation.
I don't know. Does Sony have the exclusive like rights or promotional rights for Red Dead Redemption
They do.
2?
Yep, they're gonna
They
get
do.
missions first or some exclusive missions. I don't remember right now. Yeah.
Okay, would it be okay to say that they're going to show at E3 all the new content that PS4 is going to be receiving first?
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll go with that one.
Okay, there you have it. Red Dead Redemption will be shown at the E3 stage floor, and there's gonna have some exclusive content that they're gonna show at Sony press conference. We shall see. We shall see. And with that, we're done with PlayStation. Now, this is the area that I'm gonna struggle with, is Microsoft area. Maybe Caliones can do better. So Caliones, let's go with Microsoft. And you know what? Because I'm feeling nice, I'm gonna let you go first. Because Microsoft, I'm not an expert, so someone at least that can speak a little bit of Microsoft. So anyway, Caliones, you go first, my friend, and tell me your first prediction for the big bad wolf, Microsoft.
Okay, so my first prediction is probably going to be one of those safe predictions that somebody that doesn't know anything about Microsoft would say, and one that you probably would say, and that's it. That is that we're going to see the new Halo.
Okay, I had it right here, so I guess I lose that one, but that's fine. It's all good. That's a possibility. I think they have to show something, at least a JPEG like Nintendo, but they have to show something to say that Microsoft is alive and well for sure. So.
Yeah, I mean, because if you go like the last Halo game that came out was Halo 5 Guardians from the mainline, and that was 2015. So it's already been 3 years, and we haven't seen anything. So it's about time.
Okay. With that, because I lost that prediction, I'm gonna go with my next one, which is a new Perfect Dark will be revealed at this year's E3. Microsoft owns the IP. They've been struggling. They need exclusives, and I think they have been working on a Perfect Dark game, and I think it's gonna bring some fans back to the Xbox brand if they deliver a Perfect Dark game. Caliones, what do you think about that prediction?
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't really think it's gonna happen, but I mean, if it does, that's I mean, something I really want to see. Like they, the Rare has so many IPs, the obscure IPs, not really obscure, but they haven't really been touched upon in a long time. And they actually brought a big library from Nintendo over to Microsoft when they were bought by Microsoft, but they haven't really used them. And I think it's time for them to start using them. And again, same thing. Those are names that are known. So I mean, it would be a welcome addition if they do so.
We shall see, Caliones. Go ahead with your number 2 prediction, Caliones.
Number 2 prediction for Microsoft, and well, this is, I don't know, like I think it's pretty hard for me to talk about Microsoft as well. If I say anything, it's going to be just about new games that are going to be announced, or coming out, or things like that. So, I think one of the announcements we're going to receive is what was his name? The other was it Cliff from the one that was working on Lawbreakers and those games?
Cliff, yeah, the guy from Busky. Yeah, Cliff Levinsky, whatever his name is. Yes.
Okay, so Basinski. So I believe that he is going to be announced at E3 to be back with Microsoft and to be working on a new Gears of War game.
I don't think so. He's too fast for him, but hey, I may be wrong. We shall see. So your full prediction is that Cliff will be back, and you will be seeing him working on Gears of War. That's your full prediction, correct?
That they're gonna say he is back on board Microsoft working on a new Gears of War.
Okay, fine. Prediction. We shall see. I don't know. I think that one is far-fetched, but you could get half a point if they show a JPEG of Gears of War 5 or something like that. Anyway, we shall see. I'm going to go with my next one. As you guys know, on the Microsoft world, they hired Daryl Gallagher. He was the former lead for Tomb Raider. And, of course, they hire him because he's going to build a new first-party studios for Microsoft. Since Microsoft doesn't have much and they want to show that they're trying to work hard on improving their first-party difficulties, let me put it that way. I think they're going to struck him out there. And they're going to say, hey, we got David Gallagher, the guy who did Tomb Raider, the reboot. Woohoo, we got and they're gonna show a teaser trailer for something that he's working on. It's gonna be a little bit in the style of Hideo Kojima. So I'm not gonna blame Microsoft if they do it, because Sony did it with Hideo Kojima. They struck him out there and just to show a CG trailer. Well, not CG trailer in game, but still, in-game trailer from 2 years ago, right? And the power move for Sony was, oh, we got Hideo Kojima. You don't get him, right? So Microsoft will do the same thing with David Gallagher. They're going to bring him out there. Daryl Gallagher. They're going to bring him out there. They're going to say, look at what we got. We got the guy who did the Tomb Raider reboots, and he's building this teaser trailer. That's my prediction, Caliones. Anything to add?
No, I mean, I think that's going to be, great for Microsoft if they can go ahead and, first, get them, and second, get them on stage, to announce, the new game, because they're probably going to prop it the same way as God of War on PS4, that they came with a new, not a new genre for, but a new style for the game, and it became really successful. So, in a way, Tomb Raider is a bigger name than God of War, worldwide, because of the movies and things like that. But it still hasn't gotten to that level when it comes to being that big of a game. So I would expect them to probably do something like that. Just have him run with his own IP and come up with his own type of game.
I think that's gonna happen. They have to show him, so we shall see, guys. Go ahead with your next prediction.
Okay, so one of the things that it was implied is that Microsoft has been going back and forth to Japan, that they've been talking to a couple of different companies, and that they've been trying to secure a couple of exclusives. So my prediction will be that we're gonna see 1 or 2 exclusive JRPGs for the Xbox.
Okay. You're saying you're going to see 1 or 2 JRPG exclusives for Xbox.
Yeah.
You could
Yes.
Okay. We shall see. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft, again, needs to show that they're trying to improve. Their Japanese support has been lacking, like the Kraken. So I expect that they will show something for sure. We shall see, Caliones. But interesting. That's a good prediction. You're learning to make predictions, finally, Caliones. Let me see my next prediction, my number 3rd prediction. Caliones already did 3. I already am on my 3rd. So I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna finally, and Dantes says finally, going to see Crackdown 3 release date. Has to happen. Microsoft cannot dingle that carrot anymore. They have to release. They have to give a release date for Crackdown 3. It needs to happen this E3. Caliones, your thoughts?
Well, my question would be, if they are to announce Crackdown, when do you think is going to be releasing? We're not going to use the release date as part of your prediction. I'm just asking you, when do you think it's going to be released?
It'll be October, November type of game. They want to show that they have something. And Microsoft used to love, which hurt their exclusive early in the generation. They used to love to release them, 4th quarter, fighting against the big third-party games. They starting to learn that it's better to release your exclusives early in the year, like Sony knew from the start. They said, why are we going to fight them? Let's get when we have an open window for us, right? And Nintendo has learned that too pretty well now. Aside from that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 release date, I still don't agree with that. But still, I think around October. But they have to show the release date. Caliones has to come out and show that game is not as bad as people expect it to be. They need to show a strong gameplay, and they need to provide a good release date for Crackdown.
Okay. I don't know. This one involves more than one company. So my prediction will be that probably, maybe, there will be some sort of announcement about a partnership in between Nintendo and Microsoft.
Okay, that's fine.
Your prediction. It could be about more, cross-playing between certain games, or about maybe a collaboration together on one game, something similar to, like Sega and Nintendo doing the Olympics, maybe Microsoft and Nintendo working on, like maybe a rare collection or something like that. I mean, not how they have it, but even more expanded. But I think we're probably going to see something in between them.
Okay, we shall see. I mean, so you're saying that Nintendo is going to show up at the stage, a Microsoft stage. That's what you're saying?
It'll be a big surprise, but that's why I left it for my last prediction. So, I mean, if it happens, that's worth like 10 points. Come on.
No, it still worth 1 point. But okay, I'll give you that one. That was your number 4 prediction, Caliano. It's time for my number 4. And I think I'm going to go with Microsoft will. And it's time because if you can see with the sales, they've been struggling a little bit. They will have the first price cut for that Xbox One X. So we're going to see some kind of price cut, at least a $50 price cut at least. So yes, I think it's the time to announce it. They lost some momentum after the Xbox One X came out. It's still a $500 console, so it's not cheap. Is it worth the money? Yeah, I think it's worth the money with all the power that they have in there. But I think it's time. They have slowed down. It's time to give it a little bit of a jolt. And I think the jolt is going to be Calianes that they're going to announce a price cut. Any thoughts on that one?
Well, I mean, so that's a pretty good prediction. I haven't really thought about that, but I mean, I can really see it happening, and them doing a price cut on it. And I mean, if they want to just, I mean, keep ahead of, I mean, not really necessarily keep ahead, but try to close the gap little by little with Sony. They do have the most powerful console. After E3 is when all the big third-party releases are going to be coming out. And of course, they're going to be looking better on the Xbox One X because it is a more powerful console than the PS4 Pro. So if they are able to somehow close the gap in price in between the Xbox One X and the PS4 Pro, then yes, that would be great for Microsoft and something that would be great to announce it at E3.
Okay, we shall see, Calenes. Your number 5th prediction, last prediction of the night.
My last prediction of the night is going to be...
Yo, Kali, how you doing? Welcome in. Sorry, I just gave you a what's up. Keep going, Calianes.
I don't know, like, okay, so, I mean, I already talked about Halo. I already talked about Gears of War. That we're going to see the Holy Trinity, which is, going to be Forza as well. So new Forza is going to be shown at E3.
Come on. That's not acceptable.
No.
Every year there's a Forza. It's like Major League the Show. It's like me saying, oh, look, they're going to bring a new Major League the Show. So, nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So what about this? Microsoft will be the company that shows the most IPs or new games out of Sony and Nintendo. So once E3 is over and you count how many new games each company showed, Microsoft will be the one that shows the most new games.
Yo, Toys R More Club, welcome. Sure, I'll give you that one. That's fine. They're gonna show more new IPs. Kind of like we all know that needs to happen.
It needs to happen, but
I guess it's fine, Calianes. I don't know. It's still kind of like a shitty prediction, but that's fine. I'll give it to you. Let's go with my last one, number 5th, Calianes. You said that you're expecting some kind of JRPGs to come on. I'm going to be a little bit more specific because I got more balls than you, Calianes. And if you remember, what was the company that gave Microsoft some JRPG exclusives in the 360? You remember what company was that?
Well, I mean, one of the first ones I'm going to say it was, well, aside from Square Enix.
Exclusive. No, Square Enix did not give any. Well, one game, but it was shitty. But yeah.
Was it Mistwalkers?
Good job. So my expectation is that Mistwalkers needs it more than any other Japanese company right now. A little bit of support. They've been getting into the mobile realm. Mistwalkers did deliver some good RPGs with Blue Dragoon and of course
Lost Odyssey.
Sorry.
Lost Odyssey.
Yeah, Lost Odyssey. I was going to say that, but I was also going to say the one for the Wii, which was The Last Story, which was a good RPG, but just didn't get enough. It was in the wrong time where the Wii was a little bit dead, I guess you could put it that way. And that was when Nintendo fans were not buying games. But anyway, those games, Miss Walkers needs it more than anybody, and I think Microsoft went over there. They had a relationship in the past with them. I expect that Microsoft open their wallet, and that we're going to see a new exclusive JRPG from Miss Walker Studios shown during this E3, Calianes. Anything to say about that one?
No, I mean, I'll say that's more specific than what I say in a way. So, but yeah, it's a welcome addition if they do so. I mean, Miss Walkers, they are great, doing RPG games. Blue Dragon was a great game. Lost Odyssey was a great game as well. And I mean, of course, for the Wii, it was just, I guess, too late because it took too long for the game to come out of Japan. It should have come out either, like within the same week, same month, or just a couple of months instead of, I mean, I don't know how long, like over a year later. So
I believe the problem, Calianes, this is personal opinion, is that we're putting too much stock in JRPGs. And honestly, JRPGs are becoming more popular in the West than even in the East. And the sales show that. I mean, Ni no Kuni sold more in the West. Xenoblade Chronicles sold more in the West. It is what it is. I think we're putting too much stock. I think even if Microsoft put 20 JRPGs, the console would still not sell in Japan because of whatever reasons, right? We're not going to go into it. I'm just saying the JRPGs are not as huge as it used to be in Japan. I think it's Japanese. It's just whatever is coming out. Something like Splatoon could be the biggest hit. I mean, again, goddamn Kirby sells more than Xenoblade Chronicles. And that still hurts, Calianes. I apologize, but I still grinds my gears seeing crap like Kirby sells more than Xenoblade on Japan. But anyway, but that's my point. But still, since this is for the West and Microsoft needs to bring some of those JRPG fans that Nintendo and Sony has right now buying their consoles, show that you got more diversity in your games, I believe that, yes, Microsoft will show some JRPG to your prediction, which was they're going to show 1 or 2 JRPGs, exclusive JRPG, or they went straight to Miss Walker since they had a past relationship and said, I'm going to fund JRPG, because JRPGs are not that expensive, and Microsoft tend to be a little bit harder to release money for exclusives. So a JRPG, a cheap JRPG with good enough graphics, someone that the pedigree of Miss Walker, could be something that Microsoft can bring to the table and pay for, right? So we shall see.
Well, you want to know what prediction neither you or I made for Microsoft?
Which one?
That they were going to have Scalebound on the show.
Yeah, I know. I thought about it. I had it on my backup predictions, but I still didn't put it because I know that the news came out that it came in with back to the store and then they took it out. So if Scalebound is shown, it's probably gonna be not done by Platinum Games, in my opinion. They own the IP, so they could have moved the assets and take them to somewhere else. But yeah, that could be. Scalebound could come out. I just didn't felt like. So when Scalebound got canceled, a lot of Xbox fans gave shit to Platinum Games and for the game and showing that the game was not worth it, that it was okay to cancel it. Again, there was fanboys. I'm not gonna say fans, fanboys, right? I think that hurts the game, and I think that's if they show it, it's gonna look hypocritical for then the Xbox fans come back and say, "Oh yeah, they announced Scalebound. Oh, we got a Scalebound," because they're so thirsty for first-party exclusives right now. So. We shall see, Calianes. Again, Microsoft do not have the studios. They need to pay for them. And putting Scalebound someone else with the assets already halfway done could be the easiest way to deliver a game in the next 1 to 2 years and have it ready. So, yeah, there's a possibility that Scalebound could be shown. But I don't think it's with Platinum Games. That's for sure. But we shall see. Okay, so now we're done. We're done with the predictions. Green Soda, welcome. Dark Red Okami, welcome to the chat. Like always, showing support and love. Anyway, let's go with final. We talked about it yesterday, what Nintendo needed to win to win this E3. So let's start with what does Microsoft need to do to win this E3, Calianes?
I think is just probably by showing the most games. If Microsoft can show
the most surprises, I guess you could put it.
Yeah, I guess more surprises because we don't really know much about their games. We know about Crackdown, like Crackdown 3. We've already seen that one before, so we know at some point it's going to release. We know that Halo's going to come at some point, but we haven't seen anything from Halo. Gears of War, we know that it's going to be coming as well, but we haven't seen anything from Gears of War either. So their biggest IPs we don't know anything about, and of if they can show more new games, more new game announcements, more new games, coming out this year and next year, then I believe because of those surprises, they can win E3.
Okay. We shall see if Microsoft does. I believe the same thing. Microsoft has they have the most chance of bringing the surprises. They haven't showed their roadmap. We don't know the roadmap. With Nintendo, we kind of know the roadmap, and with Sony, we know the roadmap right now. So it's Microsoft is the one that has the most chance, and they have the most to prove this E3. Aaron Greenberg, of course, even though he's a douchebag, he did tweet that they're gonna release the hounds. Basically, they're not gonna hold anything back. So Microsoft need to show the roadmap, good or bad. They need to show that roadmap. Even if they show 3 JPEGs, Caliones, they need to show the roadmap. Again, now then it's gonna come back to hypocrisy, because when Sony did the 2016, everybody said Sony won 2016 E3. Everybody saying, oh, but those games are 2 to 3 years away. They shouldn't be given the E3 win. People need to understand, right? E3 is about surprises, and the people who gives the most surprises typically win, because you get the hype, you get the excitement rolling around, right? If you want to debate that Sony did not win 2015 because the 2 big surprises was Shenmue 3 and Final Fantasy 7, I'll give you that, because those games are nowhere to be found at this time. But 2016, it was clear cut what Sony's plans was. They show Spider-Man for the first time. They show Death Stranding for the first time. They show the Lost Odyssey. Damn it. Anyway, the Uncharted DLC. I forgot the name now. I don't even remember right now. They show God of War for the first time. They show Days Gone for the first time. Detroit Become Human. So you can see the fruits of those labors coming out now and this year, delivering with Detroit Become Humans, God of War, and all that stuff, right? So my point to that is that the point of E3 is surprises. Surprises. People need to understand that. And the reason last year I gave Nintendo the win was because they had a really good gameplay trailer with Mario Odyssey. They had a really good gameplay trailer with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But they had surprises, even though I made fun of them, but they had surprises like Metroid Prime 4 with the JPEG and the announcement from the new Pokemon, just saying, hey, we're doing a new Pokemon. But that was enough for people to lose their shit. So surprises carry a lot of weight, Caliones, and I believe that that's what Microsoft has on their back this year. So they better not drop the ball. A lot of pressure is on them this year, Caliones. A lot of pressure. Okay, now, let's switch it around. Oh, go ahead. You want to say something? Sorry.
No. I think the biggest surprise for me out of any company or anything is that I feel like I'm really interested in No Man's Sky again. I mean, they announced that multiplayer is going to be part of the re-release of the game, or the No Man's Sky next, and that you can finally team up with other people and go like either like construct civilization, go and attack other people, or anything like that. So I feel like I'm surprised that I'm interested in the game again if it does deliver in that aspect.
Okay, with that said, I think it's time to switch to Sony. So, Caliones, what does Sony needs to do to win E3?
Well, I mean, Sony, it's we should see, and even though I said we are not going to see gameplay from Death Stranding, you're saying that we will. So if they show gameplay for Death Stranding and it turns out to be a good game, if same thing if we see from I mean, Spider-Man is something that they, even though they've shown it, but they haven't really let the people play the game fully. So that's something else that they need to do. If they continue, and well, Kingdom Hearts 3 is another one that they just showed gameplay. I think a couple of weeks ago. So they're gonna open it up to to all the fans. So that's another one that we're gonna see more from. Even though the game is a multiplayer. I mean, like multiplat, but you associate it with the PlayStation, and it's going to be shown in the PlayStation conference, not in Microsoft or anywhere else. So basically, do a mixture of new game announcements and open it up to having people finally play those games. Then I think that's how they can win E3. And kind of like 2016 when. Nintendo, the only thing they had at E3 was, Zelda Breath of the Wild. And a lot of people, even though they've already seen the game, that was the first time that they got their hands on it. So it's a mixture of finally getting their hands on some of the Sony games and getting new announcements. That's how they can win it.
Okay, so I'll say this. We know that the games that they're going to show first party. We know that. So if The Last of Us and that gameplay looks fire, Caliones, if Death Stranding shows that gameplay and that gameplay looks fire, if Ghost of Tsushima, we haven't mentioned it, that gameplay shows fire. I'm taking Spider-Man away because Spider-Man has been shown enough that I don't think it's going to have a big impact, and the game is coming out in September. But those other 3 games, we don't know the release dates yet. If those 3 games and that gameplay looks amazing, and even, again, Sony, to their credit, they've been pushing with their first party, the innovation and how far they're taking the system and the power of the system and how they're looking graphics. If those 3 games look awesome, Caliones, that helps. But again, E3 is about surprises. That's where Sony's partnerships with their third-party studios and second-party studios could come in handy, where you could see the From Software game, that new IP be exclusive, or if it's Bloodborne 2, that place is going to fall down the floor. Last year, we had a huge surprise at E3 with Shadows of the Colossus. If Bluepoint comes in there and gives you another top-notch remake, that thing is going to look good, right? So a couple of surprises like that, and maybe another third-party exclusive deal. Maybe, again, they work a deal with Capcom where they funded Devil May Cry 5, and Devil May Cry is exclusive, or at least at a minimum, like a Street Fighter deal, which it was half exclusive, a console exclusive, where it came to PC and PlayStation only. That could happen in Devil May Cry 5. If they have those kind of deals there, Caliones, those are big surprises. That could push Sony to win E3. But again, and I think we both agree, and we're going to finish with this one so we can move on and finish the E3 talk, is Microsoft, the ball is on your court. Also, we don't want to stay too late because I think it's Game 7 right now on Cleveland. And what's the score right now? Do you know? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
No, it's 43-39 halftime. Boston winning right now.
43-39. Okay, it's close game.
Yeah.
Close game. So we need to finish this fast today. I want to watch the second half of that game. But with that said, Microsoft, ball is in your court. Nintendo, to me, is in second place to win. Sony may not win because of the lack of surprises. But if those gameplay are shown, and they're shown to be really good, Caliones, because when The Last of Us came out with that gameplay that year E3, that was that was nasty. Let me put it that way. Anyway, with that said, let's move on, Caliones. Let's do a quick roundup with the quick notes and quick news that we have in the pipeline, and then we can go and watch that game, Game 7 for sure. Go ahead, Caliones.
Okay, so go with the first piece of news that we have over here. Well, okay, before we move over to these, you're saying what Sony needs to do to win, what Microsoft needs to do to win. Did you say who you think is going to win?
I believe Microsoft is going to win, needs to win. They're the company with the most to prove. With that much pressure, they need to win. So I'm saying Microsoft is going to win. Any last thoughts, you?
I think Microsoft's going to win as well.
Yep.
And it's because they're due for something. I mean, because they didn't even win when they first showed, the Xbox One X. And usually when you show a new console,
they have a bad roll right now. They haven't won since 2010, I think. Honestly, and that's the truth, right? Because people, before you come at me, oh, you're a Sony fanboy, of course you're gonna say that. No, they were showing Kinect games at E3 those years. So don't come at me and say that, oh my God, Microsoft should win some E3. No, they haven't won shit since 2010, just to clarify. But anyway, yeah, they're due for a win for sure.
Okay, so going over with the first piece of news is that State of Decay 2 sets the record pace for the Zombie Survival series. So basically, they're talking about having a high player count, zombies killed, and much more. So what it sounds like is that the game averages 1 million players per day, over 35, like 3.5 million hours. But I mean, all I see is numbers here. It's kind of like they're saying, oh, we have so many people connecting to Xbox Live and X amount of time and downloading X amount of stuff. So that's how we're doing great. And it's kind of like the same thing I'm seeing here. It's not a hard number of like how many games they've sold or anything like that. It's just, how many players we have. And you gotta remember, State of Decay 2 is part of the Game Pass. So people are, they already have the Game Pass. They can download the game for free. This doesn't really count as a sale of the game, even though it's going to
Well,
count
to
like,
Microsoft it counts, but keep going. Yeah.
well, I mean, to them it counts, but I mean, it's not, they're not spending $60 on the game or on anything like that, but they're counting how many people are playing the game, and a lot of those people are going to be from the Game Pass. So.
Well, Microsoft right now, their way to analyze success is player engagement. Having 1 million players in the game for them is a victory. I know that behind the scenes they're probably, how are we going to spin this to make it sound really good or better than it is? But admittedly, with Game Pass, sales are going to struggle forever because a lot of people, the same with Sea of Thieves, right? Sea of Thieves sold at first. It was in MPD the first month.
Yeah.
But
and it was number 18 on the second month.
Yeah. So you can see the drop-offs coming because no one's going to buy it when you have the chance of Game Pass. And as people come into Game Pass, there's going to be less sales for game. But Microsoft knows that because their end game is, yes, we're going to not sell. We're going to struggle. We're not going to even make money. But they're trying to build their Netflix service. And their end goal is the Netflix service. And if that means they're sacrificing their first-party games or games exclusive to them, they don't care. And you've seen that they don't care because their goal is services. So this all stats that they show is pure crap. But the stat that matters to Microsoft is how many people did re-up or new subscribers to Game Pass. That's probably the stat that they need to be delivering if this game brought new subscribers. But again, this is Microsoft. I'm not going to even say that. But I think that's the stat that matters to them internally, at least. So.
Okay, and going over to this next one, and this is going from how many players are engaged playing the game to how many games, how many copies the game has sold.
Yo, X-Gunner, what up? Don't miss much. Just come back through. We just did the full E3 prediction, so you want to, you can more than happy to go rewatch that. But go ahead, Kylan. Sorry about that.
Okay, so this is that God of War sales top 5 million copies sold, not shipped, but sold through in the first month.
You like the chip. This is real numbers here. This is sales. God of War is a success. Sony's making the money. This game could end up being over the 10 million. So this game sold in 1 month what the highest selling God of War did in history, which was God of War 3, which sold 5 million. So happy about this. Microsoft, you could learn a little bit, but again, Microsoft's end goal is Game Pass, so it doesn't matter to them. Sony's goal still is kind of old school, the same as Nintendo. We're building the game. And if the game is awesome, we get the sales and we make that money. And that's, I think, where the difference in both approaches. But I'm happy for God of War, like I stated. Same as I was happy with Breath of the Wild. I'm happy with God of War because that means first, single-player games are still important. And games like God of War and Breath of the Wild show that the industry is not dead yet. And at least we're getting those games to be exclusives. And I think those are the only reason we're getting those games. Big AAA publishers are not going to do them, but Sony and Nintendo know because they're selling to their core that they can get away with more single-player games for sure. But anyway.
Okay, and continuing with with God of War, this is coming from the UK. God of War has topped the UK sales chart for a 5th week in a row. And this is something you were talking about before. So the record is 6 weeks.
Well, the record is 8 by Gran Turismo on PlayStation 1, I believe, or PlayStation 2. The PS4 record is The Last of Us with 6 straight weeks. So they may tie the PlayStation 4 record, but to get the overall record, they need to go over 8 weeks. And I think that's going to be tougher, but we shall see.
Are they going to do it?
I don't think so because of the simple fact that Detroit Become Human is coming out. And that game tend to sell, or those type of games tend to sell more to the European market. I believe that Detroit Become Human is the game that is going to drop it off of the record pace. But if it doesn't do it, that doesn't mean the God of War wasn't successful. It just shows you that the God of War has legs. The same as Crash Bandicoot had a lot of legs in the UK MPDs, if you call it that way, last year. So good job. God of War deserves all the sales, all the praise. I'm not gonna keep speaking about God of War because I think I said enough. But yeah, I don't think it will get the record, Caliones.
Okay, moving along and continuing with Sony, and this is Sony they're giving more details on how they plan on boosting their first-party game development pipeline. So they were mentioning games like Horizon Zero Dawn, the new God of War. They were talking about how they plan on continuing to push these IPs, but at the same time they were talking about they have a few items currently in development, and that the pipeline is going to be further improved and increased. So when it comes to expenses and things like that, they plan to increase on it as well. Basically, what they're talking about is that they plan to put their money where their games are, and that they believe in their games and their current lineup and new games that they have as well. So what do you think about this?
So I'll say this just quickly, so we can move on to the next one, because the next one is bigger, and I wanna unpack that one bigger. I will say this: I think what they mean is that they're already working on more IPs. They're not gonna show them because I believe, and Sony's probably learning, but Sony's known for being a slow starter every generation. They don't get cracking until like the third year of the console generation, right? They're maybe trying to build up some good first-party games. They saw the success that Switch had by bringing up the fire the first year of the system. You could probably see that Sony will try to mimic that and at least have some AA and a couple of AAA game exclusives coming out to the PlayStation 5. So that's what I believe. PlayStation 4, I believe that they're going to finish up to Death Stranding, but at that point, I think they're going to start moving to PlayStation 5. So.
Okay, moving on to the next one, and this is that Sony, they're like I guess not doubling down or giving more details of this. They're promising exclusive third-party games, new IPs, strengthening existing ones. So this is just them, doubling down on that. So they're continuing to push on their games, and that we're gonna be seeing even more of them. So I mean, games like like we said already, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War. They're gonna either continue to do either more DLC or or like they did on the PS3. We had the Last of Us released on the PS3. Then we had the HD version released on the PS4. So we're probably going to see a couple of those games maybe make the transition as well. But I believe the PS5 is going to be backwards compatible with the PS4.
Has to.
So
Has to.
Yeah. So I think it's going to use the same card. I mean the same discs.
Architecture. Yep. Okay, go ahead with the next one, Caliones.
Okay, moving on to the next one is that the Days Gone developer says the release date will be unveiled soon. Unveiled soon, I believe, is going to be announced at E3. So this is one of those games that it was originally scheduled for a 2018 release, but it was pushed to 2019. When on 2019 they still haven't said, but it seems like at E3 they are finally going to tell us when it will be coming up.
So the reason I put this one more is to talk about it. There was some gameplay out there. The game, I think, looks interesting, but it looks rough around the edges. And if this game is coming out soon, like early next year, I'm a little bit scared for it. Then maybe Sony's going to have their first dud of their studios. I mean, not, second or third party studios, because I think they had a dud in the Order 1886, but that was a, second party studio. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. The game looks interesting. The concept is interesting. The way it's an open world, and depending on what time of weather day cycle is, there's different monsters. They can attack differently. There's different strategies to go with roadblocks. It's interesting, but they also have still need to polish a lot of stuff. Like in one video, the guy took a headshot to the head, and he did not die. He can continue firefighting, right? So those things, because the game is more RPG than a lot of people expect. And of course, in RPG, if you have your hit points, then who matters? But then you're presenting the game like a realistic game, but then with RPG elements. So if my HP doesn't go down, if I get a headshot, I can just keep firing and shooting. See, that's the stuff that they need to polish. If you get a headshot, you should die. It is what it is. So, but I've been following this game. I'm hopeful they deliver. Sony Ben needs to deliver, because if there's one studio that could be in the chopping block if this game doesn't deliver, it could be Sony Ben. And I don't want Sony closing more studio, because that means that they're also starting to get smaller and smaller in size, and the point of studios is to build crank up games, and that's what I give props to Nintendo. Nintendo do not close a studio. They try to work with them and make them successful, and then you can build studio. I'm not saying Sony does it, to clarify, but Nintendo deserves more props for building studios and, you know, turning them then later into winners like Monolith Soft. But again, Sony has done it too. But it's just that they do tend, if the studio is not delivering, they can close the studio, which suck. But we shall see, Carlos. But hopefully this game will deliver later on.
Well, and going over to the next one, and this is one game that I haven't really, I've never really known how to pronounce, but it's H1Z1. It's basically the zombie game, and it's, I believe it was worked by the developer of, you know, the PlayerUnknown's Battleground, you know, PUBG. That's one of the ones that he did work on before. But the beta of the game has been released finally on the PlayStation. That was on May 22nd, and in 24 hours, the beta drew 1.5 million players to it. So
and right now it's over 5 million, just the latest number. So that news is a little bit behind, but still, I mean, it just shows you that people are hungry for this type of game, Caliones. I don't know what to say. I'm not a fan of it, but, you know, it just shows you that PUBG is missing out on a big crowd too on PlayStation, and that's the difference when Fortnite can deliver to both crowds, which is PlayStation and Xbox, right? Then you get a bigger install base, and now Fortnite is going to go to mobile. And if my prediction is going to be correct, it's going to be on the Nintendo Switch this E3. So Fortnite just increasing their fan base, where PUBG is limiting. At the same time, you can say, well, the reason PUBG is not on PlayStation is because PlayStation don't allow early access games. Hey, that's on PUBG. Finish your crap first before trying to release games, and then maybe, you know, it would be different. But just shows you people are hungry for this type of games. Caliones, I guess.
Well, I mean, it seems like, you know, that's the way to go right now. That's a game that has been a long time in development, and, you know, and we're finally seeing out. So
don't act dumb. It's saying it's a good game. So again, if you're fan of those battle royale games, looks like we're getting positive feedback even from the chat saying that they like the game.
And it seems like, you know, maybe Mr. Sony right here should be, you know, downloading it as well, just, you know, trying it out, see how it is.
You know, I don't like those games, but anyway, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. And this is actually the last piece of news that we have for today, and this is that EA is investing in cloud gaming in a big way. They are actually acquiring personnel from distribution company GameFly in a new deal that they just announced. So, I mean, what do you think this is going to go for EA? What are they trying to do? Like, what is it that this means for EA and for us as well?
The future, Caliones. Sony knew when they bought PlayStation Now, even though it doesn't deliver how Sony expected, probably, because internet is not there yet to be streaming games. But that doesn't mean that PlayStation may get a big win later on with PlayStation Now. Once internet services get up there, EA is thinking the same thing. They want to have their backup. They want to have their own distribution means. And Microsoft, even though they have right now what they're doing the right way with Game Pass is that you can download the game, won't be surprised if Microsoft with their own system, because there are software experts in Microsoft, that they're also delivering their own way to do streaming games and not downloading the game, because that's the way what companies want, Caliones, in the future. Let me put it this way, which sucks. That's why I'm going to be like the hermit, just playing in a cave, just playing Super NES. But what sucks is what companies want is you are buying the license. You're buying the right. So basically, you're renting the right to play that game, but you will never own that game. See this? This is owning the game. Companies don't want to do that. It's easier. They can cut the middleman. They can cut distribution, and they can make buttloads of money if they can just stream the games directly to you. You never own it. Just a license, like a Netflix service, and that is what it's going for. And that's what Microsoft is pushing. So gaming is going to somewhere that I do not like. I'm just hoping that my old school ways last for a couple of console generations, at least 2 more. At least give me PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 6, or the Nintendo Switch 2 and the Nintendo Ultra Switch, whatever you want to call the next 2. But give me that for a little bit longer, I'm hoping. That's where maybe Nintendo comes in play, and Nintendo will be. I think Nintendo will be the last of the Mohicas, delivering the games the old school way, in my opinion, because they're the most behind in the online service, and that maybe is a benefit for us, unless they partner up with Microsoft or something like that. You never know, that could happen. But this is the future. I'm scared of the future, Caliones, and EA just getting ready for it. So.
Well, and I guess with this, we're pretty much close. Our predictions for E3 2018. We already talked about Nintendo last night on the Getting and Get Out Nintendo podcast, our 47 podcast. Also, today talking about Sony, talking about Microsoft, talking about who we believe is going to be winning E3, and of course, I believe that we will be live streaming all 3 conferences. We're going to live stream Microsoft, Nintendo's and Sony's. So we're going to be right here. If you guys don't have any way to, access the other live streams, you can tune into our YouTube channel. We're going to be presenting them with our commentary as well and our live reactions to it. And hopefully you guys can join us. It's going to be in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks is when all of this is going to be starting. And it's going to be exciting. Just seeing what is going to come up. We don't really expect any new systems to be announced, so it's going to be all about the games.
It will be all about the games, and of course, I think with that it's over, Caliones. We can close the show. Look at that, 1 hour and 1 minute. Beautiful. I like efficiency. Anyway, let's get the band rolling, right? Thank you, YouTube land, for joining us tonight at Force In Unison Live, episode 30, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like that video, and comment so you can make us all happy tonight. Also, remember, we do have a Nintendo podcast called the Get In and Get Out Nintendo Podcast every Saturday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You can get that podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes for free. Also, go to the description box below so you can see the full channel schedule. Please remember, PlayStation Mondays every Mondays, streaming Wednesday every Wednesday. Toys and More Club presents every Friday. And of course, this beautiful, beautiful show every Sunday. Also, hey, we do have a Facebook page. We go in there once in a while, Caliones. So, let's try to go in there a little bit more. So go to @Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and antes says finally, go to chiguerosnews.com and give some clicks and love to my boy, Caliones. With all that said, thank you again for joining us in Long Live Video Gaming. See you guys. Y se acabó.
Y se acabó. Todo good.
Es como que al principio no había gente y después a mitad del show empezaron a llegar la gente. Es como que, yo no entiendo. ¿Los quieren más temprano o los quieren tarde el show? Yo no entiendo.
Yo no sé. Ex-Gunner quiere que tú hagas el Siki, theme song la próxima vez.
El de
Seek, perdón.
Sí, que el de Xenoblade Chronicles 2, que lo ponga un día, es lo que quiere.
Ya.